Sex is not a handshake what sex first dating ignores hello. I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller, and in parts of Scandinavia, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, sex can happen very early. Sometimes the first date. Then, if there's connection, the relationship develops from there. And in the United States, we pretend we're different, but by date 3, in many modern settings, sex is quietly expected. So let's stop pretending this is about geography. Let's ask the deeper question. Can you put sex first and stability second? Because here's the problem no one wants to name. Sex is not a modified handshake. In sexually liberal cultures, sex is framed as exploration chemistry, compatibility testing, low stakes. But biologically, it is not low stakes. Across cultures, including Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and the United States, the nervous system does not care what the culture says. When two people have sex, dopamine surges, oxytocin rises, vasopressin shifts bonding pathways, cortisol can spike or drop depending on safety. This is not casual neurochemistry, this is pair bond architecture. You are not just having sex, you are activating ancient biological circuitry. Here's where the instability begins. Most people entering modern dating do not understand their attachment style, do not understand how quickly they bond, do not understand how sex affects their nervous system, do not understand what wounds they carry, and yet they engage in one of the most neurologically binding experiences available. Sex taps into an energy stream that makes a wildfire look like a sparkler. Call it biology, call it neurochemistry, call it attachment activation, but something powerful moves, and you don't yet know who you're exchanging that with. You don't know their trauma, their emotional regulation, their sexual history, their attachment strategy, their unconscious drives. You are exposing your nervous system before you know the person. That's the real risk. The instability isn't just cultural, it's asymmetrical bonding. Often, one person bonds faster. One interprets sex as progression. One interprets sex as exploration. Both believe they're being reasonable, but their biology is not synchronized. In anxiously attached individuals, early sex can intensify attachment before compatibility is clear. In avoidant individuals, sex can provide physical intimacy without emotional investment. In securely attached individuals, it may not destabilize anything. So early sex doesn't create dysfunction. It amplifies who you already are. Beyond chemistry, there's something harder to quantify but impossible to deny. Sex is vulnerability, it's exposure, it's nervous system merging, it's hormonal entrainment, it's imprinting. And if you don't know who the other person is, psychologically, emotionally, energetically, you are merging before vetting. Modern culture says, don't overthink it. Biology says, this matters. But most ignore biology. Countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland are often described as high-trust societies. That social trust may buffer instability. In the United States, we have sexual liberalism, emotional ambiguity, avoidance of clarity. We are culturally casual about sex, but psychologically traditional about commitment. That hybrid model creates confusion because we pretend sex is light while secretly hoping it means something heavy. The order of sex versus commitment is not the primary variable. Consciousness is. If two self-aware, securely attached adults choose early sex, it may not destabilize anything. If two unexamined, attachment-wounded individuals do the same, it can ignite anxiety, avoidance, jealousy, obsession, or withdrawal. Sex is not a handshake. It is a nervous system event. It is a biological covenant, whether you consciously intend it or not. So the real question is not, does sex happen on the first date? The real question is, do you understand what you are activating when it does? Because without awareness, sex first dating is not freedom. It's exposure without comprehension. And exposure without comprehension is where confusion and heartbreak begin.